Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder could yet fight for a fourth time, claimed the Bronze Bombers manager. Fury and Wilder fought in their trilogy rematch for the WBC heavyweight title last weekend, and the 33-year-old Briton emerged victorious in the 11th round. The American had put on a much improved performance compared to his showing in the second fight in February 2022, but Shelley Finkel suggested that Wilder would entertain another crack at the current champion. Speaking to The Sun, he said, "It's not on the drawing board now, but he would love to get Fury back again. I don't think people want to see that right now. Some of the other fights have to find their way through, and then that can be a possibility. Because at the end of the day, aside from the winner from the Usyk and Joshua fight, there aren't many big fights for Fury either." Finkel explained that problems with Wilder's balance and a broken knuckle were at play during the defeat. "He's doing well. He gives all credit to Fury to perform the way he did," Finkel said. But early in the fight, Deontay, probably around the third round, when he got hit by the ear and it threw his equilibrium off. And I was watching and I said, what happened to his legs? Because he trained so hard. He also, somewhere in the middle rounds, broke his right hand behind the third knuckle, and he has to have that fixed next week. He has to have surgery. The knuckle is okay, it's the bone behind the knuckle that broke."
Deontay Wilder seems to be an injury-prone fighter. I don't know. This would be maybe the fifth or the fourth time, probably even the sixth time he's had a problem with his hand, or he had to have surgery on his hand. But one thing's for sure, he's broke his hand at least 3 times to my knowledge, and I believe it's 4. So this would make 5, even though there's different kind of injuries. And then after that, he's broke his hand, he's broke his arm, wrists. It just seems to be always something with his hands or something like that. So he's a very injury prone person. I don't know if Deontay Wilder's body can hold up any much longer up under boxing. He just doesn't seem to have the calcium in his bones to be able to do it. Or maybe putting some kind of importance on throwing a correct punch so you don't hurt your hand. I mean, at this point, it seems asinine to at least not to throw your right hand with technical sufficiency so you don't have to keep breaking your hand. You've already bent to screws and the metal plates in it. But to talk about what Shelley Finkel talked about, what happened to Deontay Wilder's legs, nothing happened to Deontay Wilder's legs. That's the whole point. There was no exercising. There was no training them legs. There was no trying to put no weight below his waist or anything else, you know, and that should have been something that should have been done with Deontay Wilder. But most important than that is the fact that Deontay Wilder just wasn't conditioned to go in here and fight Tyson Fury. Skip the skill set, skip whatever Malik Scott did with him, which is virtually nothing. He wasn't in any condition, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a strength and conditioning coach, obviously. You know, he doesn't have nobody around, you know, overseeing his weight training or anything like that, or his functionality training, or, you know, just anything, you know what I'm saying? So it's not that something is wrong with Deontay Wilder's legs. We've seen Deontay Wilder walk into a ring and basically trip over his own feet and hit the canvas with nobody touching him. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Wilder walk, slip, trip, and fall. You know what I'm saying? His legs, you know, he just got, you know, he got uncoordinated legs and they just seem to be weak. It should have been some emphasis on that. You're going to stack all that muscle up top, right? But you're not going to show any consideration for the legs. And that goes back to Malik Scott. I know Malik Scott only handles the training part of it. He's not exactly the strength and conditioning coach and all that other stuff. But, you know, what did Malik Scott really work on him technically? What, going to the body and what? I mean, you didn't see half of what they was working on in the past. Deontay Wilder didn't do none of it. Yes, Deontay Wilder went to the body, but at the same time, it's the way Deontay Wilder went to the body that drained his tank so much. You know what I'm saying? People in boxing tell you that. Just look at when you dip down to the body like that without setting up, going to the body, you know, without using some throwaway shots or something like that. Yes, you're going to use a lot of energy because you're trying to dip in and out, and he's tall. You know, so the first thing that drained Deontay Wilder was actually going to Tyson Fury's body. You know, and he's bending them legs, you know, getting small, trying to get down there to that body, and they already weak. He's already this and that. You know, he ain't do nothing but gassed out. Deontay Wilder was gassed out within 3 rounds. 3 rounds, he was done. You know, what kind of coach do you have that can't foresee these problems? You know, why was there no training off the back foot? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not even to work on the clinches. You know, a lot of this is balled up to just the insufficiency of Deontay Wilder's corner. And this goes back to what we talk about with these other fighters. You got to make the adjustments inside and outside the ring. You know what I'm saying? Inside the gym and inside the ring. You got to make the adjustments if you want to be better. But, you know, I don't think nobody over there takes the sport serious. I think they just use it for what it is at the end of the day, because there's no reason to patch these holes, because these holes are very easy to patch at the end of the day. But as far as my thoughts on a 4th fight, I would be down for it, but I don't think you could ever get Tyson Fury in the ring again. But, you know, I wouldn't mind. You know, my new slogan is, hey, if the people want to see it, fuck it, let's make it happen. You know, like I'm not against any fight at this point, because boxing is too scared to throw away any boxing matches. You know, fuck whatever we can get made, because these guys don't like fighting each other, you know, and it's just, you know, it's just a huge turnoff. But nonetheless, it was an epic fight. I appreciate both gentlemen. It was a great night of boxing. The whole card was stacked. Like I said, you couldn't ask for nothing more, and it turned out to be a classic. That's all I got for now. Bruce Vane, I'm out.